Hi. This feels really weird. I feel like I always talk to myself in my brain and never out loud. So this is going to be interesting. Welcome to the debrief. Name is still TBD. I like the debrief because it's like you already know it's the debrief, but the D like Dominique, and the debrief because I love just debriefing, chatting about everything, really getting into it. And I can never stop yapping. And you're probably wondering, Dominique, why are you doing this? You already have so much going on. I do, and I want to talk about it some more and just dive into it. I feel like I'm involved in so many different worlds and I cross so many different paths, and I want to have a way of documenting what's going on besides just like writing it down or only ranting little stories to my mom or to my close friends. I'd rather also do that and have a place where I can just kind of talk about all the things going on today. And no one else is doing podcasts, so I figured this was really niche of me. Everyone is doing a podcast. Let's just dive in. Let me look at my list of things. Okay. One of the things that really got me interested in doing this, and one of the main things I really wanted to talk about, was my interest in marketing and social media. I went to school for graphic design. There's also going to be a lot of that. Bear with me. I went to school for graphic design and advertising, and I've always just loved really cool campaigns. What I really want to talk about, do I have it over here? Oh, I do. Okay. I need to get this prop out because my life was quite literally changed. In case you couldn't already tell, I am Tate McRae's biggest fan. Actually, sorry. In case you could not tell, I am Tate McRae's biggest fan. I'm actually probably not her biggest fan, but I'm sure there are way more loyal fans than me, but I'm a huge Tate McRae fan. And when I saw that Ro did the collab with Tate McRae, I was gooped, gagged, buffooned, everything. And it was just so genius. And let me debrief on why. Because she was announcing all of the little teasers, green light, revolving door, just kind of teasing some things with her new album. Wasn't fully out yet. The leaks kind of started to happen. And as a true fan, I did not listen to any of the leaks. Putting that out there now. But she just kind of was subtly hinting at these different things. And then she had the Road collab, which was like the cherry on top, like creating more buzz around who is Tate McRae if they didn't already know. And then boom, her album drops. Let's talk about this freaking album. Banger after banger after banger after banger. It's so good top to bottom. You're not going to get it the first time. You're not going to get it the second time. But after that third or fourth listen, it literally changed me. When it dropped, as I'm sure a lot of us did, I sat in my room, turned off my lights, Beats Pro headphones in, earbuds in, full volume, had the Genius lyrics up on one screen because I have Spotify. Genius lyrics up on one screen, had just like the music playing on the other, and was just submerged into the whole experience. And then after I listened to the whole album, then I watched the music video because I need to like read the lyrics first before I can watch the music video for Revolving Door. And that just like changed my life. So good. Also, what I did not do is just give you guys an intro as to who I am and maybe my background. But I would feel like if you're listening to this for the first time, you know who I am because that's probably the only way you're going to hear about this podcast is through my friends. But I'll give a little brief. Who is Dominique? Born and raised in Washington, Renton, Washington. I live in the North End now, and I grew up doing like high school dance team, and then in college I went to Arizona for school. Then I came back, and I now coach a high school dance team because I love dance teams so much. So I have a lot of love for the dance space. And when I was in college, I did the dance program. I didn't do the dance program, but I was involved in it. I did some classes and I was a part of some pieces. So I have some experience in the modern sphere and lots of good connections there, and where a lot of my stories will come from. So I took a lot of that knowledge, did some dance. I moved to LA and lived in LA for a little bit, did some commercial Millennium Dance Complex classes. So I have a little bit of knowledge in some of those spaces, but my like bread and butter is like high school dance team world. So That's my dance background. During dance team, I became obsessed with makeup because you had to do, the full beat, eyebrows and everything. And this also, mind you, was like 2015 to 2019. So that was like peak Anastasia Beverly Hills, like the thick brows, carving out, cut crease, glitter, like everything. This was like the Tina Halada, oh gosh, that like trio. There are some other people I can't think of right now. There's like a Rachel girl. I became obsessed and loved all that. And that was like my bread and butter as well. So then I started doing that, helping other people with their makeup. I started doing like people's homecoming makeup. Those pictures were not very great, but at the time, it was a moment. So through high school, doing the makeup and stuff, people were like, "You're so good. Like, you should go and like do this for real." And I took what they said and I ran. So literally after high school, I did not go to college at first. I was like, I'm going to move to LA and I'm going to become a beauty school, or I said, I'm going to go to LA, go to beauty school. I'm also going to take classes at Millennium. Like, I'm going to do the full shebang, like become an LA girl. And that lasted about 6 or 7 months. I hated beauty school. I didn't hate it. It just wasn't my calling. I wasn't loving it. I loved it for the first like month and then I was just not feeling it anymore. So then I left, became a beauty school dropout, just like the song in Grease, and came back home. That was like peak COVID, or it was like right before COVID had happened, because that was 2019 or 2020 by that point. Yeah. So I did some online school with COVID happening, and it actually kind of worked out in my favor. It to some extent, obviously it was not an ideal situation, but I cared a lot about, and I should not have, but I cared a lot about still being on the right track graduation wise. Like, I wanted to still graduate with my class by the time I was a senior in college. I should not have cared anyway, but I did at the time. And so it worked out. By the time I was done with like general ed online, I transferred to the school in Arizona and just did my 2 years and I was done. Like, as whatever. And that was 2023 when I graduated. Dang! 2 years ago? Yeah, 2 years ago. Since then, I moved back home and live with my mom because times are tough. Times are tough. And I hope that some other people who are my age see this and realize, yeah, we're all living at home and it's okay. And I need to remind myself of that because I see all these influencers like, oh, moving to my second apartment in like LA or in Texas, and it's like a mansion. And I'm like, oh, right. Oh, right. Oh, so I'm a failure. It's how I feel in the moment when I'm doom scrolling on TikTok in my bedroom in my mom's house. This bedroom to be exact. Anyways, I digress. I'm getting too into it. So, moved back home and applied to job after job after job after job after job after job. I wonder if I have it. I made a whole spreadsheet because I was like, I need to keep track of how many jobs I'm applying to because this is actually insane. Like, actually insane how many jobs I've applied to. Like, you name it, I'd applied to it. All different kinds of things. And what was so crazy about it in this job hunt, I feel like I'm like manspreading. What was so crazy about this job hunt, I think I applied to between 50 to 60 jobs. And before you're like, oh, that's not even a lot of jobs, I'm not saying we're LinkedIn, click to apply, easy apply, like whatever. I'm looking them up, researching like cool stuff about them. I'm not using ChatGPT because they can sort that out. Writing thorough cover letters. Like, I took the time with these job applications. And there were very few that were just an easy, like the easy applies. Like, majority of them were like, I'm going to email the person, I'm going to reach out to someone on LinkedIn, I'm going to do whatever. Like, I did multiple steps. I think 2 out of the 50 to 60 had like an automatic reply of like, oh, we'll get back to you. And I did not hear from anyone. Literally anyone. Not even a no, not even a thanks for applying. Like, we appreciate you taking the time, because people are taking the time to apply to your jobs, and then you're not hiring people, and then it's just, I was so bamboozled, because, and we all feel this way about ourselves, if you care about your work, like, what am I trying to say? I know that I like to put up my best work, and I like to show a lot of care in my work and passion, and I'm not just going to do something and in a throwaway sort of manner. Like, I'm going to go all out for something. And it just was frustrating me that I was applying for all these jobs and giving all my heart and passion into these roles that I felt like I was going to be a really good fit for. And then I would see on LinkedIn all my colleagues who had just graduated or not even graduated yet were like, oh, can't wait to work with these top-notch companies and agencies. And I remember sitting next to them in class and being like, how is he or she, how are they gonna make it out there? Like, what? And then to see them getting these roles, like big deal roles, I'm like, that's crazy, Tina. Crazy, Tina. Like, and I think what's so hard too is the battle with people who, I don't know if you resonate with me. Hi, viewer. I don't know if you resonate with me, but I feel like I make such more of an impact in person with how I use my expressions, how much I show my care and my passion, versus just reading an email that says, hi, hiring manager. I'm Dominique, and I'm super fun and cool and whatever. Like, being able to meet people physically goes such a long way. And I feel like that's kind of the hard part with jobs nowadays, and dating too. Like, oh my gosh, that could be a whole different section of this freaking podcast. We need like a different way to do dating apps, because the whole like looking at a photograph and you're just like meh or it's not cutting anymore. I need something new. I need something better, because this is not it for me. But let me know if you want me to actually go into the dating world, because that would be a whole different category. Anyways, moving on. Where even was I going with all of this? What was I talking about? Oh, I was giving you my life story. Oh, right. Because Tate McRae. So I love Tate McRae because dancer, singer, actress, icon, Slay Tina. Slay. Love her. She is what we needed as a generation. Before Tate McRae, like before her first studio album, which I wasn't as big of a fan of her at that time, but then I loved when she got into her new management and like totally rebranded herself. Like from Think Later on, I was in it. But before Think Later album, the only pop artist that I was like regularly listening to, maybe Billie Eilish. But even then, some of her stuff wasn't as like poppy as it was with the When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go album. I like that album probably the most for like pop music. Some of her other stuff gets a little alternative and a little sad. Very sad. And lots of deep meaning, deep stories. A lot. So sometimes when I'm in the car, I just want to have a little bop and have a good time. But sometimes her stuff gets a little too deep for me. Anyway, so again, before that, I mean, Ariana Grande, classic. But I just felt she's not that she's old by any means. She's not old at all. I feel like she's kind of reached this new era in her pop music. Ariana Grande has. And so I just needed like our Britney Spears, which is literally what people have been calling her, and Tate McRae. And so I love that for her. And I love this new rebrand. I love how boss lady she is, but I also love how real she is in interviews and just kind of shy almost. Like very introverted, but then when she performs, she's literally Tatiana, her alter ego, as she talks about. So I love that for her. And I love that she still puts her art, her physical art with her music art. Like I love this combo that's happening, and Sean Bankhead is insane. She also worked with, I can't think of that guy's name, who worked on Lady Gaga's Abracadabra. Also, let's talk about that. Abracadabra was like the dance world crossover that I was not sorry, was a Dance World crossover that I was not ready for. I was like, is that, is that, is that? Legends upon legends in that shoot. I thought that was so freaking cool. And I loved that it's literally giving like Judas and Alejandro, like, I'm so excited for that album to come out. And I literally think it comes out this week or next week, which is super exciting. Everybody put your paws up. I'm so excited for that. Since we're on the topic of music, I also wanted to add kind of like the Broski report. I love how she talks about her like songs of the week or artists of the week, whatever. I wanted to do that too because one thing about me as dance people, I'm sure all you dance folks totally agree with me on this. Whenever people be like, oh, what kind of music do you listen to? Literally anything and everything. Like, I love, like, from the dancing with a dancer mind, I love all different genres. I mean, sure, maybe not all songs are great songs, but I can get down with a good beat. And then if the meaning and lyrics are even better and I relate to it, a win is a win. Like, that's even better. But I truly love just like all music, and I don't dabble into country as much as I feel like the typical Washingtonian maybe does. But I can still bust it down to some Cotton Eye Joe. Oh, I probably shouldn't say that. That's like a... I'm gonna pretend like I didn't just say that. I can still bust it down to what's that one song? You know, those like Morgan Wallen songs. I know the people, the creators in that space. Whatever. All right. My other artist, which this is so cliche because I know Brittany Broski has talked about her before, but I have been loving Amelia Moore. Loving Amelia Moore. She has been teasing. I think she has an announcement tomorrow. So hopefully when I post this, it'll actually be today. Probably like either an album release or maybe a new single, but she's been teasing, I think, maybe 2 or 3 songs, and I'm so excited. And I'm hoping that she'll have a new album this year because I think her last album was last year, but I just want something new from her. Like, I'm excited because all of her songs on literally all of her albums are all different. To me, none of them sound the same. Maybe like 2, but they're all just so different, and they almost have a little bit of like a rap, but then they're kind of rock, but then they're pop, lock, jam. They're just so uniquely her. I love them so much. And so I'm really looking forward to what she's going to create this year, and yeah, just like how her artist journey is going to grow, because I feel like she'll probably become really popular in the next year or so. And I'm excited for her because period, like, as you should. And who else? Oh yeah, I talked about Lady Gaga. Abracadabra. Let me go to my recent listens, actually, since we're here. Oh my gosh, I stumbled upon Renee Rapp, Don't Tell My Mom, from a different album of hers. It's an EP. Her EP from 2023. So this is before... Is this before Snow Angel? I don't know. But Don't Tell My Mom, I was listening to it on the way home one night, and I was quite literally in tears. It moved me so much. It's so sad, and I can't even start to play it because I will actually start crying. But if you want like a sob song, Don't Tell My Mom by Renee Rapp is a great song. Also, that Snow Angel album is really, really good. If you haven't listened to Renee Rapp, and the only way you know of her is through that Mean Girls video, or is that Mean Girls movie, listen to Snow Angel and then get back to me. Hayden Henderson. Hold on. I know what you're thinking. Dominique, why are you only talking about white people? Pause what you're saying. Think about what you're saying. Hayden Henderson. This guy, yes, I know I got a lot of chords. Deal with it. Hayden Henderson. I've listened to 3 of his songs, and I was like, I need this person in my rotation. Like this, it's just like a new pop rock. I don't know, but I'm here for it, and it's good. So if you need someone new to listen to, I'd recommend Amelia Moore, Hayden Henderson, Renee Rapp. Now let me give you some POCs. Okay, wait, but before I give you the POCs, one more white person. Addison Rae, high fashion, and her new era. Pause. Do not leave the video. Let me finish my statement. It is so crazy, her whole life story, not even her whole life story, just the past like 10 years, her trajectory and her brand and everything. It truly needs to be studied, because if you had told me, I saw a TikTok about this, it was like 2018 me hearing that 2025 me is listening to Addison Rae, and it was like, girl, like the nastiest face. And that is so true, because I remember being like, the hype house people are weird, like it's just so stupid how much money they're making, and like it was just cringy, and like the Noah Beck stuff, like it was just a time in our lives. And then to see her do this complete pivot and make good music, granted, I do feel like she got some street cred from Charlie XCX, which, valid. Sometimes you need a little boost, a little bump, if I choosing my words. But regardless, the music is banging, and I'll be listening to it, and I think it's really, really good. Okay, now back to my POCs. One of my favorite underground POC artists, which I feel like they are not technically underground anymore because they were on tour with Billie Eilish, is Duckworth. But I feel like Billie Eilish was not the crowd he needed to see. Does that make sense? I feel like Duckworth performing at Billie Eilish was not the crowd that he deserves, because I was jumping in my seats during Duckworth, and this was back in 2022. And she played. I was in Arizona at the time. We played at the Gila Arena. I don't know. I feel like I'm screaming. We played at the Gila Arena. He played at the Gila Arena with Billie, opened for her. He had this live set. He had this girl singing her booty off, busting down. I remember she had these boots, so cute. She was dancing. She was a whole performance. And I was like, I need all of these songs right now. And as soon as the concert was over, that was literally the first thing I did, was downloaded literally all of his songs, fell in love. There was one that he played that I literally remembered that I was like, I can't find it. It's like unreleased. He never released it. And I was searching high and low for it. And I remember I saw like a Reddit thread that was like, he performed it, Billie's opener, and he performed as, what? He performed for Billie. No. He performed as an opener at Billie's concert, and he played the song, but no one knows what it's called. It's not on his discography. Does anyone know what it is? And there was like a SoundCloud or a YouTube link to like the live performance, but I literally need the actual one, like full-fledged, in my rotation. Stat. So Duckworth is one of them. Oh! Sorry to do this again. Pia Mia, pause. Is she Latina? I feel like she's something. She got a little spice. Pia Mia went ghost. Kylie's bestie, whatever, for a short period of time, maybe like 2012, 2013, 14. Went ghost. Did like 2 songs. She had that one banger song. I can't even think of it now. She pulled up. She said, here's an album. And people just kind of talked about it, and then it went away. I still have that in my rotation. I'm still playing it. And I will die on this hill. No, I won't. I don't even know why I'm saying that. I stand by this. I know I find good I know I find good music because I know it's good, because my picky white mother, I'll play it in the car, and she won't always get it the first time I play it, but when I play it for a second time, like a couple days or a week or so later, I'll play it again, and I'll catch her like doing this. She'll be on her phone, like not really paying attention. She'll just be like, or I'll see her in the corner of my eye tapping her foot, and I'm like, yeah. Or my favorite one that she says is she'll go, "Who's this?" She'll be like, who's this? As if I'm gonna tell her her name. As if I'm gonna be like, Colby Calais. Like, girl, you don't know who this is. Why are you asking like you know? It kills me when she says that. Who's this? Like, girl, it's not Celine Dion. I'm gonna tell you right now. And I remember I was like, she said, "Who is this?" I was like, Pia Mia. Who? Pia Mia. Pia. Pause. Mia. Who's Pia Mia? Like, exactly. Like, exactly my point. Exactly my point. Yeah. So, back to this. Some of my black women in rotation is Summer Walker. Love me some SZA Walker. SZA Walker. SZA Walker? I need a collab. Do they have a collab? Something tells me they have beef. Do they have a collab? I feel like I'd have to know that. Summer Walker and SZA, love them. Also love Ella May. I don't know why I'm like going blank on some of these. I'm trying to pick out my POC woman. Ooh, here's someone who's underground. Someone underground. She has 200,000 followers, 200,000 monthly listeners. Ayana, Ayanna, but the first A has those like 2 dots. Don't know what that's called. Don't cancel me because that was not taught to me in grade school. So how am I supposed to know that? How am I supposed to know? I think it's Ayana. I'm just gonna stop. But she has this album called About a Boy. It's so good. I liked like half the songs on here. A little over half the songs on here. Really good. If you want like a new POC album to listen to. And that was all my women. The POC men doesn't really matter. They get too much attention anyway. I'm not going to highlight them anymore. Sorry, am I screaming? What else shall I chat about? Oh, something else fun fact about me that you cannot tell because my hair is zound. Do you guys like it? I got a haircut. That's what I did in January. I got a haircut in January. I'm an earring girly. And I think I'll chat about my earring journey maybe in the next episode. I can't believe I just said that. That means I have to keep posting episodes. Oh, so now I have to be consistent. Oh, right. Okay, maybe we'll talk about the next episode, but I love jewelry and I love earrings, and I'll like do a full deep dive on how I got into my little earfluencer era, and how that's been and how that's continuing to go, because I am still currently doing content for them to this day. But I want to talk about, kind of going back to the marketing social media space, is the Studs birthstone collection. They are such a genius for doing that, because they had, and I've been meaning to like tell them this, I don't have a direct communication to them, but like giving my 2 cents if they care, because they had an original like emerald green line and just like the white CZ, and I think they had like a black CZ line with the gold. And I was like, oh, I love the green, but I would love to eventually like have like garnet, my birthstone, and have just like different colors, like a ruby, a pink, just having more fun color options, especially with like holiday seasons. Like summer would be fun to have like some blues, whatever. And then eventually they literally did this like birthstone collection, and it was so cute because they got this like birthday cake like done by those like those aesthetic cakes that are done like in New York, and they had some girl do it like Studs colors, but then they had the little gems from the collection in the cake. I was like, that is so genius. That is so freaking cute, and I love that. And then they have this whole birthstone collection, and they have all the different colors in both gold and silver, and they're really, really cute. And I was like, period. So super excited for them, and I love that they have just been popping off, and it's such a smart concept, and clearly it's working because they're doing so well, and I'm glad that I get to be part of this little journey. Like, that feels super cool to know that I think 3 or 4 of my videos from that are on their pages, either TikTok or Instagram, have like over 2 million views and have done so well. So that's super cool to feel like my ears have been on blast, on full blast. So that's super cool. Yeah. How long have I been talking? I feel like I've been talking for a long time. What does that mean? 32 minutes? I've been talking for 32 minutes? Okay. This might be a good, like, I feel like a 32-ish minute first pod. I feel like a 30-ish minute pod for the first one is good. So I'll probably start to wrap up now. Yeah, I guess as a viewer, probably wondering what the heck is going on, what the heck is next, what does this mean? I don't know. That's the beauty of this, and my debrief is that we're just going to talk about anything and everything. If you guys have suggestions, please let me know. As things happen in the media and in the news and in pop culture, like, I will happily debrief on it. Kind of like how I did today a little bit with Tate McRae. And yeah, my main thing again is just kind of talking about all the different things going on in the world and in my life, and how they intersect. And yeah, I don't know. Oh, before we go, so you're probably wondering, Dominique, do you have a job? Answer is yes, I do have a job. I work full-time for a beverage company, and I had the forced pleasure of doing a photo shoot for them. So I'm a part of this team. We were gonna hire out a photographer, and then my boss was like, well, what if you just shot everything? Oh, right. Let me just go back to my photography 101 class. Let me go find my camera that I bought for that class and have not touched since that class. My Canon EOS T Rebel 7. I don't know. Why are you yawning? Literally, why are you yawning? This is your show. Anyway. What was I gonna say? Oh, so my camera. I was like, oh, absolutely I can do that. I said, I'm not going to guarantee that this looks good. Matter of fact, I'm probably going to bet on it that it looks like dookie. So if you hate the way they turn out, I already warned you. So you cannot get mad at me if they look bad, and you cannot fire me if they look bad. Was quite literally what I said to her. She's like, oh, no, it's going to be fine. I was like, all right. So then I literally went from project manager to prop stylist to like PA, project production assistant, to lighting assistant, to also videographer capturing like UGC stuff. It was a crazy day, and I was 2 weeks ago, or that was last week, and it was a long day. I was there from like 6 till 4:30. Long day. But so I was nervous because I was shooting, and I understood, like, the only thing that I majorly understood, or that I knew I needed to make sure I understood, was adjusting the, like, camera people are about to be so mad at me. Adjusting that, what is that? I don't know what it's called, but when I look in it, and there's like the meter on the bottom, and it will like shift to one side or shift to the other side if like your lighting's slightly off, and then it'll adjust like how quick the camera lens will shut. Sorry if you don't know what I'm talking about, and sorry if you don't care. So I'll adjust it till it gets on that, like if it gets to your, if the little dash is perfectly centered, that's when you know you have like a good like composition, like it's gonna capture the best photo. So I knew how to like adjust that. And I knew how to adjust my ISO. ISO? Yeah. So with those two things in mind, I just kind of went with it and ran. And honestly, the photos looked pretty freaking cool. And once they're posted, I will post some of them on my own Instagram page. You should follow me if you don't already. I don't know how else you would be able to find my page. That's how you would find it. And what was I gonna say? Yes. So I was looking at the photos back. I was looking back at the photos, and it was just so crazy. I was like, honestly, Dominique, you kind of ate this up for like not touching a real camera in like over a year. You kind of ate that up. Like, I feel like I ate it up. So then I was like, okay, dang, now I gotta like edit these. Like, I need to edit them. And not that I wasn't gonna, but I knew I wanted to edit them and make them look as good as possible. Um, and so I was gonna originally like edit them just like on my phone, like transfer all the photos to my from the camera to my phone and just edit them there and like delete, favorite, organize in albums, whatever. But I was like, no, like I should use like Lightroom. Like I used it like once in a class, like what, 2 years ago? Maybe no, like 3 years ago, like my first college class, and she taught us Lightroom, and she got in trouble because she was not supposed to do that because it was like really advanced, I guess. So I knew just a little bit, but that was all I need. I just needed to know a little bit, and I could kind of figure it out, and I liked it because I could just like copy my edits and paste it, and it was actually really easy to work with. And I started learning the shortcuts. I felt like a freaking pro. And they just turned out so much better. It made the photos look even like stronger, more professional. And it made me excited. I was kind of like, okay, like I could keep doing this. I mean, I don't want to keep doing that. Well, I could do like maybe one or two SKUs. Okay, so here's the thing. I did 9 SKUs total. SKUs meaning like individual product. Like a Sprite, a Coke Zero. Like if that was what was going on, that would be 3 SKUs. So I did 9 total SKUs. It was a long day. So if I was given 2 SKUs, I'd be okay with doing that again. But no more than 3, because that was a lot. And also, let me also preface, it was like very much studio photography. I could not do, or at least I don't feel like I could do, like a lifestyle where it's like people like in action. Like I'm not great at action shots. Like I need it to be still and I can set it up and make it look perfect. I felt stronger with that. So those photos turned out really cute. I'm waiting to get brand approval so we can start posting those. And I'm excited. That was super cool. It was just like a fun learning and great way to add stuff to my toolkit. And I think next time I want to chat more about like not necessarily how I got my job, but how I feel about working in a smaller company versus larger. Because I think that's a really I feel like it's talked about but not talked about enough. And I would love to kind of give my 2 cents if you care. If you care, I would love to give my 2 cents about that. And because I have lots of thoughts. Oh my gosh, I have so many thoughts. Anyways, I think that we'll call that good. I think that we will literally just call that it. Thank you so much for listening and tuning in. If you did, if you made it all the way through, major thank you. Like that's crazy. Because 40 minutes, well, right now it's 40 minutes, but it'll probably be like, what, 30? Who knows? But anything longer than 10 minutes is a long time to just like listen to someone. So thanks for listening and tuning in. I'll see you guys next time. I'm not going to put a date on that because I don't know and I'm busy. I'm just so busy. I'm a busy girl. And I'll just see you guys next time. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This was the debrief with Dominique. Bye.